What is up, Script fam? Good morning. Welcome to Thursday. More previews dropped for all the black cards. I know everyone's super hyped about those. I wanted to go ahead and get into this deck profile before everyone gets too far into brewing with the new black stuff that just came out because it's really exciting. But I wanted to go ahead and go over my take on Frieza after doing a lot of brewing with the leader itself. I tested, of course, the idea of putting green and yellow together. The idea of playing yellow for Bloodlust was appealing, but at the same exact time, when you start to look at the deck itself, you're playing a lot of lower quality cards by going to the yellow packages than you would be by just playing mono green, and that became fairly apparent throughout deck building. So today I'm going to be going over mono green Frieza. So Frieza, on the leader permanent, you can't have sand cards in your deck, so you can't play those evil monkeys in your deck, which is kind of cool, very flavorful. I like it. And then it has an auto: choose one Frieza's army card in your battle area and send it, place it in owner's drop area. When this card attacks, a leader card, and your opponent chooses one card in their hand and discards it, and then you add one card from your life to your hand. So the leader has Self-Awakening, but it requires you to sacrifice a battle card. Sacrifice one of your minions. Again, super flavorful. And make sure your opponent discard a card. You then take a life to help you Self-Awaken. Then, when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw one card and then switch to one energy and switch to active mode and flip this card over. So draw one, untap one leader. And then on the Awaken side, you have auto when this card attacks, draw a card, and then activate main. Once return, choose one of your Frieza army's battle cards and place it in its drop area. Then you choose one card in your opponent's hand, make him discard it, and then one of your unison cards gains critical for the turn. So on the front side, your opponent gets to choose the discard. On the back side, you get a random discard, which random discard, as we know, when you can start stacking those kinds of effects, gets to be very powerful. So going back to that first drawback about not being able to play saiyans in your deck. So that's very sad. You know, because we can't play, the Saiyan battle card, the new Vegeta super combo, which would have been amazing in this deck because it's just a one drop. Your opponent discards a card. It has high synergy with the Bardock Unison, which that's another thing to note is that since Unisons don't have a card type, that's not classified as Saiyan, so you can lean into Bardock Paternal Unison, which is what this deck does. And as you can see, this deck, when we go back to this view, the overall cost of the cards in this deck, like we have so many 0 to 1, which is 32 different cards in the deck that are 0 to 1, and then just scaling down. We don't play many 2s, we play 0 3s, then we play some 5s in the rebrands, and then we have the negative energy Dragon Balls. We have 1. So this deck is very low curve, and that's one thing you're going to notice with the green strategies this set is it feels like they're getting the most out of using the drop area and leveraging Bardock Unison the most. So this list is 418 Bionic Blitz for our super combo. Since we can't have access to Vegeta, we want to have a super combo that synergizes with the fact that we're trying to make our opponent discard cards. So we're playing 118 Bionic Blitz to make them bottom deck cards. Very strong card, perfect with this leader, does everything you want to do. Then we're playing 3 Frieza Xeno Darkness Overflowing, which is the starter deck unison. So this card, if it were to lose a marker from your opponent's attack, you may place forward a card from your life in your drop area instead. So it helps you Self-Awaken, helps it stay alive if you play it in the early game. And it has a +1, choose one card in your hand and discard it, draw a card. So this card is actually meant to have a ton of synergy with Dodoria Frieza's Devoted Servant, where it's if your leader card is a green Frieza card and you have a green unison card in play, if this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. So these two cards combo together. So essentially you can play your Frieza, use it, pitch your Dodoria, play your Dodoria for free, draw a card, and that just helps you get material on board for your leader, where you can choose to sacrifice one of your guys, then give your unison critical and make your opponent discard a card at random. So it's all about looping these effects over and over and over again. You know what card's great for looping all these effects? Hasty Dispatch Dispo. If there are no cards in your battle area, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, choose up to one battle card at energy cost of 1 in your drop area and play it with its skills negated for the turn. So what you do is, let's say you have nothing on board, you just have your unison and you have your leader. Well, you can remove a Hasty Dispatch, you can play one of your Frieza's army battle cards, then you can use your leader skill to pop it. And so the reason why I like this kind of engine and then combining it with Bardock Paternal Unison is you can kind of get some really gross like chain turns where you just keep reusing these effects and making your opponent discard cards throughout the course of the game and get to the point where your opponent's discarding almost 2 cards every single turn, which to make sure you're always doing that, we're playing 4 copies of Rebrand Punishing Passion, which green, if your lead card is green, send this card from your drop area to warp, your opponent chooses 2 cards from the hand and place them in the drop area. So this is how you always have that taxing method on your opponent's hand, is having the Rebrands available to you, and then also combining with all the different effects. So the other 1-drops we're playing 4 Infernal Emperor Frieza, 3 Dodoria the Cold-Blooded. Major reason why, you want to self-awaken. You want to awaken early because the faster you awaken, the less of a detriment, the game becomes over time. The less work you're having to do over time. Because the longer it takes you to awaken, you're having to keep presenting these Frieza cards on board, and you're having to take a life to make your opponent just discard a card of their choice. So you really can't ramp up the total tax on the opponent unless you get to your awakened side. That's when you can really make some truly busted things happen, because you want to get to a point where you're only really swinging with your leader plus your critical unison card. Once you're there, that's it. You're going to be able to close the game out really quickly. And so what I like to do, and the reason why we lean into Bardock Unison, is because Bardock has the +1. You can choose one of your green battle cards, energy cost of 1, and KO it. If you do, your opponent chooses one card in their hand and discards it. So what? Very simple. You go into your turn, you have a Frieza card on board, you use it with your leader ability, pop it, your opponent then discards a card at random, then you can activate a Histy Dispatch Dispo, bring another 1-drop back, plus on Bardock, pop it, your opponent then now has discarded 2 cards for the turn, you have a critical swing with the Unison, and you have your leader swing. And so all you're trying to do is keep this chain and keep it revolving and continue to do it over and over again while defending yourself. The way we're defending ourselves is with 4 Cells Earth Destroying Kamehameha. It's just a combo card. Leader card is green. Choose up to one of your green leader cards or battle cards. It gets +15 for the duration of the battle. And then you can choose one card in your opponent's hand and place in the drop area. So again, a random discard. 4 Dormant Potential Unleashed. Probably the best extra card coming out of the set. Everyone's going to be really hype on this. It's just, if your leader card is mono green, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total energy cost of 2 or less and KO them. And additionally, you may choose one green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack once more this turn. So this is how you're going to save your Unison. This is how you're going to stay alive. And then you can keep reusing it. And then even if you have a green Unison card in play, you can activate this counter skill without paying its energy cost. So it's like a free flying Nimbus, but better. So we're playing 4 Dormant Potential Unleash. And to go with our 4 Cells Kamehameha and 4 Dormant Potential Unleash, we're playing 3 Master Roshi Kamehameha Origins, which you remove it for a green from your drop area, send it to your warp, choose one green extra card in your drop area, add it to your hand. So this is just 3 more additional copies of either Dormant Potential Unleash or Cells or Strong Kamehameha, depending on the matchup or what you need, which is absurd. We're playing 2 Zarbon Frieza's Right-Hand Man, just as a way to find or Unison or find a Frieza's Army card. And it has an Activate Battle G. If your leader card is a green Frieza card and you have a green Unison card in play, you send this card from your drop area or warp, choose one of your leader cards in Unison, gets +10,000 for the battle. So this just helps you close out the game. It's just something that sits in your drop area. It's a 1-drop for the fodder that we need. You remove it, and then boom, now your leader's 25k critical, or now your leader's 25k swinging. Like, it just helps you close out the game. So I really like playing this in a small number in the deck itself. We're playing 4 Rebrand, as I said before. We're playing 4 Frieza's Charismatic Villain because we're really revolving our game plan about having a Unison in play, and Frieza is great. It's a free counterplay that just KOs anything that's 7 cost or less. It doesn't ignore barrier, but a lot of the threats in this game right now don't really have barrier, so this kind of gets around deflect. So yeah, you can't play God Sealing Trunks against it like you want to, but you can just play Frieza Charismatic Villain and just pop the card anyway. The only downside is if you're playing against Obuni is just going to be able to resolve no matter what, and you're only going to be able to pop. You can't even pop a token just because of the way the card's ordered. So that's sad. Then finishing, we're playing 2 Rebrand Avatar of Affection. It's probably one of the best finishers right now for green. Triple strike, and then when you play this card from your hand, choose all your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier, KO them, and then this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd. Choose up to 1 green battle card that energy costs 4 less in your drop area and play it with the skills negated for the turn. So you really don't care about the second ability. You could put some cards in this deck to help maximize that. Like if you wanted to go higher than 50, or if you wanted to shave some cards, you could play some Surprise Attack Friezas, which has good synergy with the Unison as well as this card, and get a free critical attacker if this card were to die. But this is really just trying to finish the game. So I'm playing 2 Rebrand Avatar of Affection, because if your opponent's going to be low on cards, which is our goal is to get to a point in the game where the opponent is sitting at 0 cards and we're making them stay at 0 cards, and then resolving this card to try and win the game, along with our critical swing, along with our leader swing, etc. Rebrand's the perfect card for that. And then our secret rare, debating between Black Smoke Dragon and Dragon Ball's Negative Energy Overflow. So Black Smoke Dragon has the upside of being able to come down and close out the game like relatively easily. But the issue is just counterplay is real. God Sealing Trunks is real. I mean, having that bounce back to your hand just is a huge feel bad. I mean, yeah, we can lean into that idea of getting your opponent's hand down to 0 and playing our Smoke Dragon. But Dragon Ball's Negative Energy Overflow always works, and you don't really care about it because you don't care what battle cards you have on your board, whereas your opponent does. So using this card as a catch-up, like, engine or catch-up mechanic is just perfect for you. It just allows you to clear the board, reset, and then go back to taxing your opponent's hand with your free 1-drops out of your drop area with hasty dispatch dispo. But anyways, this is the Frieza deck. I'll make sure I put a link down in the description below for the video so you can check out the deck, download it, do whatever you want with it. But in general, I really like it. I think the deck is honestly like 1 card away from being in that upper tier, 1 card away from being there with Goku for green. Because right now, like, if there was just like a card where it was like, if this card is placed in your drop area by a skill, your opponent discards an additional card, or let's say if it's brought back, your opponent discards an additional card, like, that would be perfect for this deck. Like, you know, if it was just something that had more synergy with the drop area, made your opponent discard an additional card, this deck would be, like, definitely taking a huge step forward and being stronger. So we'll see what happens. I'll be interested to see what, you know, because we always know that they release the promo stuff, so I'm interested to see if they release any promos for the Frieza archetype. But in general, deck is very cool, very fun to play, very interesting game, because like I said, the way you're playing it is you're just cycling your 1-drops over and over and over again, trying to tax the hand. So it's a unique style of play. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy the deck, and then make sure you check us out, because we're going to be going over the black cards here soon. Going to be going over the Dredge deck, which we're all really excited about to see with the new Vegex. So in general, thank you guys so much for watching. If you get a chance, make sure you subscribe. Also check out our Patreon if you're looking for additional content daily. #ScrubFam is best fam. Okay, thanks. Bye.